This is for Algebra 2. This is the review for the exam over quadratics. You start by putting your function in your calculator at y equal. To find the vertex, before I found the vertex actually, I would look and say I can find the quadratic term. It's a number with x squared, so 3x squared. I can find the linear term. It's a number with x, so 2x. I can find the constant. It's a number by itself, so negative 3. I also automatically know the domain because the domain is always ARN when they start out with a function for you or an equation. So then I would put it in y equal and I would look at the graph. I would see that the graph opens up, and so that tells me that it's a minimum or a low point. I would see that it crosses the x-axis twice, so I would know that the number of roots is 2. I would then go to my table and find where x is equal to 0, and I would discover that my y-intercept is negative 3. Then I would be ready to find the vertex, so I would do second, calc, min, get before, press enter, get after, press enter, enter, and it'll give you the vertex. Make sure you write the vertex as a point. Once you know the vertex, the axis of symmetry is always x equal whatever the x value of the vertex was. The value of the min is going to be from the y value of the vertex. The range, since it opens up, is greater than or equal to. If it had opened down, it would have been less than or equal to the number from the y value of the vertex. So that gets everything except for your solution. To find your solution, you're going to do second, calc, number 2 for 0. You have to do this 2 different times, once for each solution. That's all of the problems dealing with that function. So then, if you're going to solve by factoring, you get everything on the same side, so this 45 has to move, and it becomes x squared plus 40x minus 45 equals 0. Find the factors of the number at the end, so factors of 45 are 1 and 45, 3 and 15, 5 and 9. Use your sign rules. They're different. The largest one is positive. This is how I know they're different. This is how I know the largest one is positive. So fix your signs. I have to choose the one that equals 4. So x minus 5 equals 0 and x plus 9 equals 0. Solve and you get x equal 5, x equal negative 9. On this one you've got to move things. You want to make sure that the x squared is positive and that it is written x squared and then x and then the constant. So this becomes 3x squared plus 13x minus 10 equals 0. Since there's a number in front of x squared, you've got to multiply the first number and the last number to figure out what to factor. So 3 times 10 is 30. Factors of 30 are 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. Signs are different, and the big one is positive, so the small ones are negative. They need to equal 13, so I'm going to use 15 and negative 2. Since there was a number in front of x squared, I got to bring it down. I can't just go to my equations yet. 3x squared minus 2x plus 15x minus 10 equals 0. Cut it in half, pull out an x, and it leaves you 3x minus 2, plus pull out a 5, and it leaves you 3x minus 2. So your equations are 3x minus 2 equals 0, and x plus 5 equals 0. When you solve those, you're going to get x equals 2/3, and x is equal to negative 5. When there's only 2 things, look for what they have in common that you can pull out. Pull out a 3 and an x, and it leaves you x plus 4. Take each part and make an equation. So 3x equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0. Divide by 3, x equals 0. Subtract your 4, x equals negative 4. This was the review for quadratics. Come see me during speed if you have questions.